Hello friends, welcome back to Belle's Library. I'm Heather and today we're going to talk about some authors that are new to me that I am so excited to be reading more from because they've just been wonderful so far to me and I'm hoping that that continues. So I have a list of just wonderful authors and maybe you'll want to check them out as well if you haven't already, but before we talk all of that, please get down below and click subscribe, and also my Goodreads and Instagram are down there so we can talk bookish on all of these different platforms. I would absolutely love to have you guys, so please take a moment to do that really quick, and let's go ahead and jump into some of these wonderful authors that I have. So I kind of broke this up into a couple different categories. So this first one is authors that were new to me. So these are new to me within this last year of 2021. And they're also authors that are debut authors. So I think most of these have one book out, but there might be one or two that have two books out. But I read their debut this year, and so they're still really new authors, I feel like. So I have that going on, and they have some books coming out in the next couple of years that I'm beyond excited to be getting to. And then I have a section of new to me authors that have quite a chunk of books out, and I just need to read more of them because I've really enjoyed what I've read so far this year. So let's go ahead and jump into some of our new to me, but kind of debut authors, so they could be new to you too, and you can find out more about them. I feel like if you have watched my channel for a while now, you may know this first one, but Brittany Morris. Oh my goodness. So again, I'm breaking this debut author of rule right here because she's come out with two books now, but I don't feel like they are as well known as they should be. But I read Slay, which is her debut, and adored it so much. So then I moved on to The Cost of Knowing and bawled my eyes out. It was wonderful and amazing as well. And so I can't wait for anything that she puts out. She does such an amazing job of working in these really intriguing stories, as well as just hard-hitting content and talking about race. And oh gosh, I love it. So we'll just talk about Slay really fast. So Slay is it's like a sci-fi contemporary, I guess, in which we're following this girl. She has made a whole online community and role-playing game, and then a couple people within the game, one of them kills the other one over something about the game in real life, and it starts up this whole thing, and the online community is for Black people only, and so everybody's like, oh, the creator's racist, she needs to come out, this is her fault, and she's 18, she's in high school, and she's like, I don't know how to handle this. She hasn't told her parents that she's made this game at all, or anybody in her family or any of her friends. So we're kind of following her journey as she's kind of dealing with that and how to deal with that. Then we have Tracy Deonn, who came out with Legendborn this year. Actually, it might have been last year that she came out with this, but I read it this year, and the next one's coming out next year for this series, and oh my gosh, I love this book so much. It's a King Arthur retelling. We're following Bree, and she starts at this college as kind of early college acceptance. So she's doing like her senior year of high school there. But the first night she's there, she sees like this weird stuff, and her memory is supposed to get erased by the like magical people who are performing this thing, and it doesn't totally stick and work, and so she kind of gets indoctrinated into this world where she is following King Arthur's descendants, and there's like a game competition element to this, secret society, also some dark academia vibes with the campus. Oh, so much fun. Loved it. Another author is Darcy Littlebadger. I believe, I have to look it up. Read her first book, but I think her second book either just came out or it's coming out very soon. But her first book, I thoroughly enjoyed. It's Elatsoe, and this one it's kind of a mystery, but also like a little bit kind of a contemporary and magical realism book. We're following Elatsoe, and she can speak to the like spirits that are dead in a lot of ways. And basically like her aunt, I think, comes to her the day, no, not the aunt, it's the uncle, brother. It is a family member comes to her and says, what they're saying about my death, it was not an accident. And so her and her family end up going down and they're trying to figure out what happened for real. And I really enjoyed this story so much, and I can't wait to read more from her. Then we have Rose Zabo, which the book that I read is What Big Teeth by her, and I loved it. It was so weird and odd, and you're like following this family, and this girl basically, like, she goes off to school when she's really young. She's like 10 or 11 or something, and she hasn't been home in years, and she has to come back home because of something that happens at school, and she's like older teens or something, but there's some odd stuff with her family, and she gets to know their monstrous side that she really forgot about, and kind of has to help take over and aid taking care of the household and stuff. And her grandma shows up that nobody's like seen, she's never met, and it's very weird. I will say it's very weird and odd, and a lot of people I don't think liked it, but I really enjoyed it. And she's coming out with a new, I think it's a duology actually, starting next year. So I'm excited to see what else she has. Then we have Ashley Winstead, and she wrote In My Dreams I Hold a Knife. Such a long title. I always have to take a minute and be like, how's it start? Okay. And this was like a mystery thriller with some dark academia vibes, and I'm excited to see what else she has coming, because this was really fun. It was a really good ride. I really enjoyed the mystery aspect and kind of it's kind of like almost a close quarters, closed room mystery, because you're on this campus for a reunion like 10 years later, and this group of friends is getting back together for the reunion, and one of them was killed back when they were in their senior year, and one of them was blamed for it, and you're following the rest of them and trying to figure out what really happened when this whole thing went down. And then we have Ali Hazelwood. She wrote The Love Hypothesis, which, oh my gosh, I like downed that book so fast. It was so wonderful. She's coming out with like 4 books next year. What? I'm so excited. And there's going to be like a sequel to The Love Hypothesis as well. Mind blown. Mind blown. I cannot wait. Oh my gosh, The Love Hypothesis was such a fun romance. I was dying. It had these wonderful sciencey elements, which just makes my heart happy because I'm a science nerd and that's just the way it is. So, oh my gosh, cannot wait. Cannot wait to read more from her. And last on this part of the list is Daka Herman, and I read Hide and Seeker by her, and it is a middle grade horror novel following this group of kids. They have to take down the Seeker, and he's like this evil guy who abducts kids when they play hide and seek, and they have to go into this world of his and take him down. And I just loved it. I loved the representation she gave between all of the different kids. They all had different things they were dealing with. They all came together as friends to work through their problems, and it just was wonderful. And I can't wait to see what else she's got going. Okay, so this next half is going to be new to me authors, but they have more books going on than just 1 or 2. I think honestly, it was just that one author that had 2. So the first one I have on here is Sylvan Newell. I read his short story, The Test, and then I ended up picking up the next book I picked up, oh my gosh, Sleeping Giants. I was like, I can see the cover. What is it? And I've really enjoyed them. They are sci-fi, but they make you really think, and just very intriguing and twisted, and I don't know, just I really have enjoyed the books I've read by him so far, and I know there's more out there. There's like a one following like astronauts and stuff that I'm interested in, and I want to continue the Sleeping Giant series, so I definitely have quite a few that I'm interested in by him. Oh, the history of what comes next? I don't know, I'll put it here. Definitely intrigued by what else he has out there. Also, Courtney Summers. I read Sadie by her, and oh my gosh, I know I'm a little late to the bandwagon on this one, but that was a really good book, and I loved it. And I really want to read The Project, although I know it hasn't been getting as good of reviews, but I'm intrigued, and I want to know what's going on in there. And I don't know, whatever else. I know I went back and looked, and I was like, oh, she's got all kinds of other books, so I'll have to see what else she's got going on. Another author that I read this year was Megan Golden. I read The Night Swim by her, and that was a wonderful book too. I actually read Sadie and The Night Swim, I think in the same vlog. And oh my gosh, I was so excited to find both of those books. They were both so wonderful. I still think about the Night Swim. And I know she's already had a couple books out that I haven't read. And I think she has one coming out in 2022. So I need to catch up a little bit with some of hers. Oh my gosh, Catherine Arden. Yes. She might be a new favorite author for me. Actually, a lot of these authors probably would be. But I started her Small Spaces series and read the first one, two, and they're middle grade horror, and they were so fun. And then I read The Bear and the Nightingale, and oh my gosh, the atmosphere of this fantasy is just, and story, and just, oh my gosh, just love it. I just love it. So I must continue both of these series so much, and I want to see what else she's got because I love her writing. I love her writing. Another author I love their writing, Becky Chambers. I read To Be Taught If Fortunate by her, and I'm planning on reading another book by her this month. And she just has beautiful writing as well, and beautiful stories, and they're just so warm and inclusive and loving. And I just, oh, and it's sci-fi, and you don't get that always with sci-fi. So I'm just like, heck yes. So definitely want to read more from her. Also, Kay Ingram. This woman, all of her books intrigue me. All of her synopses. I'm like, yeah, no, I want to read that. What is that? Loved The Weight of the Stars. That was really fun. And I enjoyed that it's kind of this contemporary story with a little bit of some sci-fi stuff in there. And then I did read Darling by her. And that one I wasn't as impressed with. But yeah, I know that I definitely have quite a few of her books on my TBR, and she has one coming out next month. And I'm like, I just want to read all of them. And I love like her extra little like notes sometimes at the end of her books where she's just talking to you as the reader because she just seems like such a good person inside. And I just love that. Next we have Casey McQuiston. Now, if you had asked me if I wanted to read more from her after reading Red, White, and Royal Blue, I'd been like, maybe, because that one was just kind of for me. But I read One Last Stop and adored it. And I really want to see what else she has coming out. And she has a YA coming out. So the last two books she's had were new adults. So I'm excited to see what she's going to do with YA and see if I like that. So intrigued. I wouldn't say she's like going to be like one of my favorite authors yet because it's been a little bit mixed, but I still think about One Last Stop and I really want to reread that one and I need to own it. So that's a good sign. All right, talk about some good writing. Elizabeth Lim, oh my gosh, she just puts you into a fairy tale. I read her latest release, which was Six Crimson Cranes, that just came out this past summer. Oh, yeah, this book was wonderful, and I loved the writing and how I just felt immersed in a fairy tale, really. We're following Princess Shiori, and she gets like banned out to this nowhere land and she's trying to make it back to her kingdom, but nobody recognizes her and she can't speak. If she says even one word, every word that she says will kill one of her brothers, and she has like 6 brothers and they've all been turned into cranes, and her stepmom who did all of this is sitting up there on the throne, and she's just like, this can't happen. And she goes through so much growth in that story. That's a wonderful one. And then the Spin the Dawn series sounds wonderful. I think I was watching G. She was doing like if you like this book, you'll like this book. And she was saying, if you liked Care of All, then you'd like the Spin the Dawn series. I'm pretty sure that was the comparison. I was like, I love Care of All, and I wanted to get to Spin the Dawn. Now I want to get to it even more. I'll try and link her video down below if you guys want to watch it. So this next one, I didn't totally love the book, but I liked the writing, and so I want to try something else by her to see if I like it more. And that's Katrina Leno. I read Horrid by her. I know I have some other stuff on my TBR that I'm really intrigued by that she has written. And yeah, her writing was just really pretty and up my alley. So I'm going to see what else she has out there. I think, does she write Summer of Salt? I've heard great things about that one. So maybe I need to try that one out. And then we have Tiffany D. Jackson, who she has some really interesting, impactful stories. And I read Monday's Not Coming, and I've heard about a lot of her other books. White Smoke's her most recent one that came out that I'm interested in, comparing Haunting of Hill House and Get Out together. That sounds amazing. But I didn't totally love the way it ended. Like, Monday's Not Coming, like, great, wonderful, wonderful, and then the ending just kind of dropped it a little bit for me, but still, like, very intrigued to see what else she has. Last two, here we go. Read my first Brandon Sanderson this year. Yes, I did. I love Skyward. Wonderful. Oh my gosh, his writing's great. His world building is amazing. His characters, like all of it, loved it. Gotta get to more of him because I know everybody loves his work and he has so many intriguing stories. Like, I definitely want to read more from him. And the very last author I'm going to tell you guys is Simone St. James, which I read The Sundown Motel. Gosh, sometimes you just space out. There's so many books in my brain. And I know she has The Broken Girls, and then she's also coming out with like the Book of Cold Cases, I think it's called, this next year. I loved her mystery kind of style, mixing in with a little bit of like paranormal type stuff and like this haunted house, or not haunted house, it's like a haunted motel. Loved the way she mixed all of this stuff together. Can't wait to see what else she has and read some more from her. So that one's definitely on my list. So these are a bunch of authors that are new to me that I'm really excited to read more of their books, whether they have a ton or they just have some more coming out next year. You know, we'll see. So let me know some of your guys' favorite authors down below. And if you guys are up to leaving an emoji, let's go ahead and just leave me a rose. Because, you know, I don't know, leave me a rose. That's what I got. And I will talk to you guys super soon. I guess hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Bye, guys.